Hi, my name is Bernadette. I would like to share with you a simple, very effective technique you can do yourself called emotional stress release, or ESR. So any stressful situation, worrying about the past, overly concerned about the future, that is global warming, the economy, maybe your finances, or nightmares, fears, phobias, past traumatic events, or maybe you're just a student that's anxious about exams, or you've had a bad day at school, or your job, dealing with unpleasant customers, or maybe you're nervous about that speech you got to give tomorrow. Whatever it is, emotional stress release takes the emotional charge out of any negative experience you have. It neutralizes and eliminates negativity from any stressful emotion. I would like to share with you my first experience with emotional stress release. I was living in Montana and my mom was visiting. And a friend shared with me this technique. And she said it's really good with eliminating fears and stuff. So I asked my mom, "Mom, is there anything you're scared of?" And she said, "Yes, cliffs." Well, we grew up in Colorado and that sure didn't help. So I said, "Mom, let's try this." And we did. It took about 45 seconds to a minute. Then my mom couldn't think about it anymore. Well, I didn't really know what I was doing, so we just forgot about it and went on doing something else. But that summer, my mom got a job at Yellowstone National Park. And here's a picture of my mom standing in front of a cliff. It's about a 200-foot drop. Needless to say, I was really excited, as my mom's never been able to do that before. And I got the training in how to do this wonderful technique. How does it work? Well, if someone or something is pushing your buttons, or you're just plain stressed out, blood leaves the frontal lobes of the brain and reverts back to earlier developed parts of the brain, which are based on past experiences. This is reactive thinking. ESR brings the blood back to the frontal lobes and you become proactive rather than reactive. It takes the charge out of any negative emotion. You can relax and feel better. Now, this is another beauty of this method. Let's say you want excellent performance. Could be any area: career, social, school, sports, etc. Once you diffuse the unpleasant emotion, you can use emotional stress release and visualize a positive and successful outcome. This will enhance your self-esteem, making performance easier and more comfortable for you. So let's try it. You place the thumb and the ring finger together over your eyebrows. Uncross your legs. This is very important. Keep your legs and your arms uncrossed. You start at the 12 o'clock line. You'll rotate your eyes clockwise and counterclockwise, thinking about what's ever bothering you. Just keep rotating clockwise and counterclockwise until it's flat and you can no longer think about it. Once that happens, now visualize a positive and successful outcome on how you want to feel. Let's take an example: public speaking. A lot of people have a fear of public speaking. Now you can either think about it or you can talk about it. Let's talk about it. "Oh dear, I've got to give this speech next week and I'm really nervous. And my boss told me I got to do this and I really do not want to present this talk next week. I am so nervous. I know I'm going to get butterflies, my knees, oh God, I'm just really uptight about this." So that's what you do. You just keep talking about how you're going to feel next week, having to give that talk until you just absolutely cannot think about it anymore. It just feels flat. Once that happens, now think about the positive outcome. "You know what? I think I can do this. I'm not so nervous anymore. I actually, well, this might even be exciting, rewarding to present and tell others about what's going on with the company. I might even look forward to doing this." So you get an idea of how this happens. Now, another thing you can do is you can diffuse your whole lifetime. You can go through your childhood, your teenage years, anything that made you uncomfortable. You can also do this with maybe you saw a horror movie or a movie or you read a book that was upsetting and didn't quite feel comfortable. Just diffuse it, clear it. All right, if you've had an intense or traumatic experience, then there's a 3-step process. First, let's say you've had a serious car accident, very traumatic. First, place your hand on your forehead and just think about it. When it starts to lighten up, next step, put both hands on your forehead and then rotate your eyes clockwise and counterclockwise. And when that starts to lift, then you go into the next step, and this will totally clear it up. Just go counterclockwise and clockwise, clockwise and counterclockwise, until it's totally clear. Now this is a book that Dr. Wayne Topping wrote, who I was trained under, and it's called Success Over Distress, and at that time he had traveled to 26 countries, and who knows how many countries now. That was over 20 years ago when I learned this. He's written a number of books, and like I said, I've been using this for over 20 years. And if you would like to clear any self-sabotaging or limiting behaviors that may be the cause of some of these unpleasant memories, check out my other videos on my website, Bernadette'sHealingArts.com. Thank you.